Hello. This is my first time ever making a YouTube video, period. So I hope that you guys can hear me and it's clear. I really don't know what I'm doing, but I just feel extremely led to make this video. I'm gonna get straight to it. On October 9th, 2019, I had a dream, and in my dream, I was at basically a lady who helped raise me house in like the South Central Los Angeles area. And I was walking outside the front door, and my mom was outside on the porch, and then my younger sister was outside on the grass, on one part of the grass, and then my older sister was on the other side of the grass of like the front yard. And I went to my mom and, I kind of looked at her, but I went to stand on the edge of the porch and I looked up in the sky. And when I looked up in the sky, I noticed that there were so many stars in the sky. They looked like stars. I mean, like thousands and thousands of stars. And it was just like amazing. And it was so beautiful. And the moon was so big and bright, like right in the middle of all these stars. And as I'm looking at the stars, I remember feeling overwhelmed with joy because I knew like that Jesus was coming. Like I knew the rapture was like coming, was not happening, but like, oh my God, it's time. Like I was overjoyed. And when I looked at the stars, they started like flying around the sky, like just like, okay, all these stars here, and then they're like they're just flying everywhere. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm in amazement. And then they like start flying but like disappearing, where they were all gone. There were no more stars in the sky, and it was just the moon left. And my mom, she's like jumping up and down, and she was like, Jesus is coming, it's time. And she had this like whiteboard, and on the whiteboard there were like rows of like family members' names, birthday, address. I don't know why, but in the dream I had the knowledge that like she was doing this because she wanted to write our family members' name down so that when we went in the rapture, they would know like who was missing out of our family. And she gave me the marker and she said, write your name. And I wrote my name and my information, and then under that line I started to write my younger sister's information. And in between writing her name, like my mom grabbed my right arm because I'm right-handed, and then she looked at me and she said, Miss Chalet, oh my God, I just had a vision. And in this vision, I saw you going up in the rapture, but I didn't go with you. And she had the most serious look on her face, and she looked so sad and so like astounded, like in shock. And I wanted to make her feel better, and I said, and call my mom Gran. Well, Gran, it's okay. Like maybe you just didn't see me like from yourself. I mean, maybe you just didn't see yourself from like that point of view, or I'm just trying to console her. And I remember just being like, okay, because my mom basically raised me in the church, and like if there's one person like I felt like would go to heaven, I felt like it would be her. So I was really like, I don't understand. And then I remember walking to my sister, who was on the right side of the porch on the grass, and I said, her name is Juanisha. I said, Juanisha, do you know God? Like, do you have a relationship with Jesus? And we're kind of like farly separated, like in real life. Like she lives in another state. We didn't really grow up close. But in the dream I said, you have a relationship with God? Like, do you know who God is? And she was like, I don't have time for all that, and kind of like waved me off. And I remember backing up from her, and I had my head down, and I was so sad. And also I remember looking to like the left side, and there was a police car that was like parked right next to her house with no lights on or nothing. Just, it was like the officer was just sitting there waiting for something to happen. And I woke up. And when I woke up, basically God just told me like I'm coming. Like in my spirit, like I'm coming. And I remember just sitting on the bed and I just was crying. I just cried. I couldn't go back to sleep because I was like, there's so many people that don't know you, God. And even people who do know you, they may be like deceiving themselves. I hope I'm not deceiving myself, you know. And I was just like, the dream was so real, you guys. Like, it was so real. I woke up and thought I was in a dream when I woke up. But in reality, like, I was dreaming that first part. But I wanted that feeling back, like that excitement. Like, I'm going home. I'm going home. And I was so excited. And some things have been revealed to me, like, after the dream. A few things that were revealed to me was that I thought long and hard about, like, why did I see all those stars, God? Like, because where this house was, in the area, the location, like, you never see stars like that. And then I started to think, like, were those stars, or were those actually angels, but like preparing to come and like take us, because they were flying around until there were no more left. And I assumed they were stars because it was nighttime and they were shining bright. But maybe they weren't stars. Maybe they were angels. And the next morning, I wrote my sister a message, like on Instagram, on the DM. And I told her about the dream I had. And she started writing me back like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Because I always say, I don't have time for that. That's like something I say a lot. And there's no way I would have known that, because like I said earlier, like, we have a distant relationship. Like, she lives in another state. So I wouldn't have known that at all. And I was like tripping out. And then God said, call your mom and tell her the dream. And I was like, oh no, I can't do that, right? Because like, this is my mom. She raised me in church. I don't want her to get offended or be like, what are you talking about? So I said, okay, God. It was late at night. It was maybe 10, 11 o'clock. And I said, all right, I'm gonna call her right now. If she doesn't answer, like, that's it, you know. That's it. I'm not, because this is already hard to do. And I called my mom, and she actually answered the phone, and she's like, hey, what's up? And so I tell her the dream, and she just like gets so quiet, like, and she just starts telling me like, thank you so much. Like, I believe God spoke to you to speak to me in that dream, and just thank you. And she was just like so receiving of the dream, which made me feel like so much better. And I was just so thankful. And I mean, there's other things that I have encountered like that, but I'll make another video because this one's already like almost 9 minutes. But you guys, God is coming. Jesus is coming. Like, we're about to go home. Like, I believe it. I pray for it. And I'm just thankful that he shared that dream with me to like wake me up and to have me like be able to witness to other people. Sometimes I struggle with that because we live in a world where nobody wants to like hear about God, hear about Jesus, you know. So a lot of times I just keep things to myself, but I believe God is calling me to not do that and to share the things that he has shared with me. And yeah, that's the end of this video. I don't know how many people would hear this or think I'm crazy. I really have no idea. I just know that ever since I've had this dream, God has been putting it in my spirit to just make a video and share it with people. And every day I got an excuse. I'm a mom. I'm in school. I'm this, I'm that. I don't have time. But I think time is so short, and I don't want nobody to be left behind. So thank you to those people who clicked on this video to listen. And I just pray like God just manifests himself into you so that you believe like I believe, and greater than I believe, and that God would just show himself to you so that you won't be left behind here. And I'm not a minister, I'm not a pastor, I'm far from, you know, extremely saved and, you know, more saved than Jesus. Like, no, I'm not there. I'm a regular person. I believe in God. I trust him. I know he's guided my life and my husband's life and my family life, and I'm just so thankful for him. And yeah, guys, have a wonderful day.